Yo, what's going on, guys? It is the Big K back again for another video, and damn, that feels good to say. But yeah, guys, today I'm going to tell you my experience working for Chewy. So if you don't know what Chewy is, it's like an online retailer place. And it's all about pets, pet food, dog food, cat food, turtle food. They have it all. They got it all. It's crazy. So I'm going to tell you my experiences working there, what I thought of the job, how the job was, and just my overall opinion on it. So I started there a few months ago. I was on a night shift. It was 6:30 p.m. till 5 a.m. in the morning, 4 days a week. And then there was overtime sometimes. So now getting a job at Chewy is super easy. How I got hired was I walked into an open interview, I got interviewed, and I got hired in 10 minutes flat. It was crazy. It was really easy to get in. However, the first thing that really made me dislike Chewy was how they hired me. I got hired as a forklift operator, which is exactly what I was looking for and exactly what I wanted. And then a week or two goes by, and then I have orientation. And during orientation, they switched my job title to a fulfillment specialist. Now that's terrible. That's the worst thing that has ever happened to me in my life. They literally switched it. And I asked them about it, and they're like, yeah, that's the only positions we had left open. And it was just like, man, I'm going to be wasting half my life at this place. And, I signed up for a forklift operator position. That's what I was told I was going to be. But it turned out that I wasn't going to be that. So, at that point in time, I had no other option, so I just had to keep going on with the job. So let me start out by saying the job was pretty easy, right? The pay was really decent, right? I started at $11.75, and then something happened with the government to where, like, I don't know, they had to increase our pay, and then I got paid $13 an hour like a month later, which was really cool. So I was like a fulfillment specialist, and basically all that entailed was I got to ride this little scooter that was called a MoveX, and then you drag a cart behind you that has 16 boxes on it. You get this little wrist rocket on your wrist, and has a little cable that runs to your finger that you strap on with Velcro, and you just scan stuff. So the gun tells you where to go, and you drive to that location. You scan the product location, you scan the product itself, you scan the box, and then you throw it in the box. It was that simple. It was really easy. There really wasn't much walking. And, there really wasn't much walking. I mean, you had this scooter that you drove around the whole building. It was a massive building. I mean, the building was huge, dude. Like, when you look down one aisle and just seemed like 150 aisles, like, it just seemed like it was like entering the Matrix, man. It was crazy. And, I mean, it would take you, like, freaking, like, 7 minutes to drive your scooter from one end of the building to the next. And it sucked walking the building because it just took forever. And here's another thing I want to point out. You would ride the scooter around for 10 hours a day, but sometimes there'd be so many people that if you weren't fast enough, if you didn't come into work 25 minutes early before you're supposed to be there to get a scooter, you wouldn't have one. So you would have to literally push this cart. You would have to push the cart that you're dragging behind your MoveX, and you would be walking like 20, 30 miles a day, all right? You'd be pushing a cart that goes from like 100 pounds to like 800 pounds after you're putting products in it. So you would have to push that cart through the entire store, and that was freaking terrible. I'm not gonna lie, I slacked off super hard when that happened. I'm like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not I'm not doing that. So yeah, that's just how it was, man. Or what would happen is people would go to the bathroom, and I would just be like, you know what? Life's not fair, and I would just steal their MoveX, and then I'd hook it up to mine, and I'd be gone. I wouldn't see that person like the entire day. So gotta do what you gotta do to make some money. You know what I mean? But I mean, everything included. Being a fulfillment specialist was amazing, right? I was like, damn, I'm really good at this. There was a few times where I was like number one. I was the number one picker. I was picking like 6 to 7 to 800 picks a day, right? And I was dominating everyone, and it felt good. Like for like a week straight, I was like number one like 4 or 5 times for that week, and I was just dominating, and it felt really good, right? So I was like, damn, if I'm a beast at this position, you know what? I'm gonna try to ask and see if I could get. And I was like, you know what, if I'm a beast at this position, man, I want to move on to another position and try to learn that position and try to get good at that position, which was extremely my downfall with the job, dude. Completely made me hate my job. So I ended up getting transferred to single pack. So there was fulfillment specialist with the MoveX, the scooter, and then there was single pack. Now in single pack, I had no clue what it was. You know, I was like the new guy. I was there for a month. I was dominating fulfillment specialist. I had no clue what any other position was. So like when they asked everyone, they're like, hey, we need some help in singles pack. Who wants to learn it? I was like, yeah, I'll do it. And that was my downfall right there. So I had no clue what it was. After the first day of training in single pack, I quickly learned that I did not like this position at all. Basically what singles pack was, a guy on a little forklift thing would bring a box of very heavy products to you. It would mainly be all cat litter, dog food, basically everything that's 40 pounds and up, and you would have to pack 900 of them a day. And if you didn't pack 900 of them a day, you'd get written up. 2 weeks into this shit, right, I got written up because I just wasn't doing as much as I was supposed to. But I was like, man, this shit is hard, dude. I'm supposed to, like, you know, grab a product, put it in a box, tape the box up, push it on a conveyor belt, and everything's like 40 plus pounds. And I have to do that every like 25 seconds to hit the numbers. And I have to do that for 10 hours straight. And it's just like, damn, that's hard. And you know, God, it's not that I'm lazy. It's just that I'm so tall. Like, I'm way taller than the average human being, dude. So like in this position, man, you know, I couldn't stand straight up. I had to bend a little bit, and just bending like that consistently for hours and hours and hours while lifting heavy shit, dude, freaking tore my back up, dude. Like, I couldn't even bend down and touch my hands to my knees because the pain in my back was so severe. It was just terrible. So, you know, I did what I thought I should have done in that situation. I went up to my manager and I was like, yo, man, like, single pack, you know, my back is killing me. You know, I'm just not liking the position. Is there any way I could go back and just be a fulfillment specialist? Because, you know, I was dominating in there. I was #1 multiple times. You know, they were announcing my name at the startup meeting and stuff. So, you know, I'm like, yeah, I can't really do the single pack position. And, you know, I'll kill it and dominate it for you guys in fulfillment specialists every day I come in. And they were just like, no. They're like, no, too bad, you know, you signed up for this position. And I was just like, yeah, but I didn't know what this position was, man. Like, you know, I'm just too tall for this position, man. Like, you know, I'm always bending over and shit. It was terrible, man. They would just not let me transfer back to my original position that I started in. I don't know why. Like, why would you do that, bro? Any employer out there, man, when you have an employee who's fucking killing it in one position, right? And they decide, you know, hey, I want to learn this other position, and they suck at that position, okay? They absolutely suck shit at the second position that they try to get into. Why in the fuck would you not let an employee go back to the position that they were completely fucking killing it in? You know, like, why not, man? Like, you know, you guys lost a fucking employee that would have killed it in fulfillment specialist because you had to make them work in a shit department that they didn't like and physically couldn't do. So it was just like, god damn, was that annoying. So time went on, you know, I needed a job, I needed money, and I just kept working in single pack. And eventually, man, I really hurt my back, and I told these fuckers it was gonna happen too. Like, you know, I told them, man, yo, my back's killing me. You know, could I just please even get a few days or like a week back in fulfillment specialist? And they just told me flat out no, like, you know, do your job or go home. So it's just like, god damn. So I did my job, and I just hurt my back so bad, dude. It was bad. I couldn't even walk, bro. Like, I couldn't walk at a normal speed that you would walk at. Like, I had to walk super slow because just walking made my back hurt ridiculously bad. So after I hurt my back, you know, I told them, I was like, yo, I hurt my back, man. You know, what can we do here? And they're just like, yeah, I just keep working, just work it out. I'm like, bro, I can't even stand, bro. Like, so eventually, you know, none of the managers were helping me out. I went to HR, and then they actually helped me out, and they, you know, they put me on a leave of absence. They said, all right, well, your back's messed up. You can't work until you go to the doctors and get checked out. And whatever the doctor says, then we can put you on light duty and stuff. So I did that and, you know, got put on light duty. And after that, it was just like, you know what? These people don't care about me at all. I could have been killing it for them in fulfillment. you know, they just didn't care about their employees. So eventually I just ended up quitting. Any job that doesn't give a shit about you know, that's messed up. You know, hey man, like me personally, man, you could have paid me $10 an hour instead of 13 an hour and actually gave a fuck about me, and I'd still be working there. That's all it takes, man. Like for a lot of people, dude, money doesn't even fucking matter, bro. Like just treat me like a human being. Like shit, my back hurts. All right, well, yo, this guy kills it in fulfillment. His back hurts in this department. Let's throw him back in fulfillment. You know, that's all. That's all it would have took, man. And I would have been killing it, dude. I would have been killing numbers for you guys now, dude. But yeah, that's just how it is, man. It's just shitty that the customers are always first, not the employees. You know, like yeah, customers are really important, but I mean, shit, if you're having a good employee, like you should try to keep that employee. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. And there was many forms of drama that happened at Chewy. Dude, the one thing that absolutely pissed me off the most, and it pissed off every single employee in Chewy, 100%, because there was like a whiteboard that we could write all the stuff we don't like about Chewy, and that's what the entire board was this topic right here. So the building's super long, like 1.5 miles long. So right in the middle of the building is the time clocks where you punch in and out. But there's also time clocks in the front of the building, because in the front of the building, that's where the parking lot is. That's where like the lunchroom is. The managers like enforce this extremely hard to where like if you work in a certain department, you have to punch out in the middle and you're not allowed to punch out up front. I don't want to be inside when I go on lunch. I want to go out to my truck and chill. So in order for me to do that, I'd have to punch out in the middle of the building. I'd have to walk, no joke, exactly 7 minutes to get to the parking lot. Okay, that's like speed walking right there. 7 minutes it took me to walk from the middle of the building to my truck, and then I'd have to be back in half an hour. So it took me 7 minutes to walk to my truck, then it would take me 7 minutes to walk back to the time clock. So I would essentially get half a lunch, you know, because half my lunch was spent walking. It just got to the point where, like, I would just punch out up front. Like, you're not supposed to for some unknown reason. Only certain people, like managers and shit, are allowed to punch out up front because they get, they get to enjoy their full lunch. But I just think that was insane, you know. I was definitely in like a few offices saying, yo, that's bullshit. Like, yo, I only get half lunch, what's up with that? He's like, no, you don't. No, you don't. As soon as you punch out, you have a full half an hour. And, I just told him, I was like, so if I do get a full half an hour, you mean to tell me as soon as I punch out, I could put a fat dip in my lip because I have a full half an hour lunch? He's like, no. So I'm like, okay, so you're just bullshitting then, like, I don't know. I just think that was a super dumb thing, and every single person hated that. Everyone could punch out up front and there'd be no problem, and people could actually enjoy a full lunch when you're working 10 hours, but no, like we weren't allowed to. I just thought, that was dumb. That was just one of the biggest things that I hated. You got to give me a break, man. Like I need some time to sit down. Like, hey, I have to walk half of my lunch, man. I just wasn't allowed back in fulfillment, even though that's the department where I fucking crushed it, dude. I even told people that were like the managers that were congratulating me every single day on being #1 in fulfillment. I was like, yo, how do I get back there? Because I'm in this department. I don't really like it. I'm not good at it. I really don't want to get good at it because my back hurts so bad. And they, some managers tried to help me out, but I mean, just like the big guy, he was like, nah, we can't do that. We can't put you back there. So kind of sucked, man. I was down for that job, like 100% down for that job, except for getting put in an apartment that I just hated, and like I just physically knew it would just ruin my life if I stayed there. Like if I stayed there for 30 years, I would be hospitalized when I'm 50, and I just wouldn't have a back left. I'd have like 7 back surgeries a year if I stayed there. So I'm trying to think long term. I want to make decent money now, but I don't want to like kill myself when I'm 60. So if you get hired as a fulfillment specialist, stay there, man. Like if I go back in time, I totally would have just stayed in fulfillment because I liked that job. That was fun, dude. That's some quick info on Chewy, working at Chewy Warehouse. That's just my experience. I'm sure everyone else's experience is different and possibly better, possibly worse, but that's my experience, guys. Have a great day, and thank you. Peace out.